D because it's the back side of the hand. When we look at the forearm, everything palm side tends to flex. Everything back hand side tends to extend. So our flexors are on the anterior side. Our extenders are on the posterior side. Unfortunately, with this guy, they rested his hands on his tummy because that's the best way to put dead bodies, but it's not anatomical position. So that's why we're pointing to the back of the forearm muscles on the front picture. Make sense? It's a little weird. So when we look at it, this is our brachioradialis muscle. It starts at the brachium, right by the brachialis. It goes all the way down towards the radius. So that's why it's called the brachioradialis muscle. And it's going to be right next to the radial nerve. So it pops out at the base of that. Next to that, we're going to have our extensor carpi radialis longus. And then next to that, you'll have the extensor carpi radialis brevis. So longus and the brevis. And then you're going to have the extensor digitorum. Okay. The carpis don't touch each other. So the carpi ulnaris and the carpi radialis, whether they're flexors or extensors, are always separated by a muscle in between. So the extensor carpi radialis brevis is separated from the extensor carpi ulnaris by the extensor digitorum going to the fingers. So that's that bad boy right there, the extensor digitorum. And then we can just make out a little bit of the edge of the extensor carpi ulnaris. Here's our back. So kind of flipping back to page something. Figure 1310-208. So we've got our deep side and our shallow side. So on our shallow side, you can see the trapezius. You can imagine it looks kind of like a trapezoid. And of course, the deltoid. We're going to have the latissimus dorsi. Again, the latissimus dorsi is the largest muscle in the human body. Okay, so he's a big boy right there. And of course, latissimus dorsi means lateral back. He's on the lateral and the back side. That's his name. And of course, we've got the deltoid. On the shallow side, we can see the infraspinatus, which is below the spine, and the supraspinatus, which is above the spine of the scapula. So that's how they got their names. And then you're going to have the rhomboid major and then the rhomboid minor. Now, Carl's is different. Apparently, he over-exercised certain things in the prison yard that our dude didn't. So he has a huge rhomboid major, where our guy, it's about half that size. And he has a huge teres. That is abnormally large teres major. Apparently, he was pterodactyl people in the prison yard or something. But that teres major is disturbingly large. Ours, guys, is much smaller, normal proportions. So whenever you see that bulge right there, it's like somebody been working out a little too hard with that muscle. And his teres minor is pathetically tiny. Somebody should have spent more time on the minor than the major because he's not proportional. Or then again, he has one testicle. He's never going to be. So he's got his own issues. And of course, you can see a little bit of the intercostal muscles and the serratus interior from the back. I didn't point to the intercostals up here. Intercostals in between the ribs. Delicious with barbecue. And of course, we can see the triceps brachii. And when we've got the forearms, this big chunky boy down here, that is the flexor carpi ulnaris. So figure 1312, picture A. Your flexor carpi ulnaris is the one you kind of lay your arm on when you put your arm on the table. It's the big flabby guy that's cushiony for arm. And then to the side, you would have the flexor carpi ulnaris. Those two are side by side. Then you're going to have the palmaris longus, which weirdly, it doesn't point to it on the anatomized. It doesn't even have it as an option. So I guess they're like, it's dead to us. Because a lot of people don't actually have the palmaris longus. It's one of those other muscles that a lot of people are missing. A few years ago, there was those rotating pictures to see if you've got one. If you do your hands kind of claw-like and press, if you've got two tendons, you've got the palmaris longus. If you've just got one, then you just have the flexor digit. You don't have the palmaris longus. So not everybody has that guy. So they didn't bother putting it in the lineup of muscles. And then on the other side, we will have the flexor carpi radialis along the thumb. So there they are. Again, this one is pointing out those muscles. So we can see the brachioradialis, big boy, coming down. We can see the extensor carpi radialis longus and the extensor carpi radialis brevis. So the longest is right next to it. Brevis is shorter, so it's a little guy next to it. And then we're going to have the extensor digitorum extending our digits. And then we can see the flexor carpi, or excuse me, extensor carpi ulnaris, the little skinny one on the edge because of the way his arms are laying down. And then backward just kind of points to all those stuff again. So we can see the flexor carpi ulnaris, big boy. Then right next to that would be the palmaris longus, which it doesn't even bother showing you. And then we're going to have the flexor carpi radialis next to that. And then you can see just the edge of the brachioradialis. Pronator teres is a little guy up in here. His little connective tissue band is weird, but it's blocking with it. Oh, legs, that's next week. Maybe something to look forward to. Him and his creepy toes. Okay. Questions about uppers?
Can you tell us which one to mark out on 13 and 12 figure 8 again?
Figure 8. Figure 8, spiral side. Flexor pollicus longus, pronator quattris, flexor retinaculum, and then the other side of the hand, flexor digitorum superficialis, the palmar aponeurosis, and the superficial transverse ligaments of the palm.
Thank you.
And then all of B and C. Any other questions? So at 1:30, we will have bonus quiz. Chest, abs, and back are on the rolly guys. The arms are on the arm models. There's a couple back there, and there's some in the cabinets. Apparently some people don't put them up. Yeah.
So we do have to know the medial head of the tricep brachii?
We just have to know triceps brachii.
Triceps
I don't make you
brachii.
know any of the heads. So
Simple.
medial, lateral, or long, we don't care.
Okay, medial lateral. Okay. And then the medial epicondyle of humerus?
We pointed to that last week.
Okay.
Again, with the bone markings, they just help to orient you, but they're not necessary or pointing to you. They're
Okay.
landmarks.
Tendon bicep brachii.
Any other questions? All right, quality fun time with models.
Okay. Flesh, yeah. So we're doing chest, abs, and arms.
Chest, abs, back, and arms.
Chest, abs, back, and arms. 10-4. We started on 204, right? Or 203?
204.
Okay.
202 and 203, the only thing we need to know is the table word and information for stereomastoid, the pictures we don't care about.
10-4. Back, chest. Yes, at the other class we're going to study on back, chest, abdomen region, and the arms. What she said for the. Let me look at this thing. Abs, chest, yeah, back, and arms. Okay. So basically go from 204 all the way to 213. Page number 0. Nothing beside an arm. Alright. bicep brachii. I'm just gonna do the front and the back. And then we can grab it on. Pectoralis minor, pectoralis major, deltoid, bicep brachii, bicep brachii. Right here. These are the stratus anterior, the serratus anterior. External intercostal. Internal intercostal. Everything I'm going over. Everything. I mean, it's not gonna be all of it. Trapezius. Deltoid.